Hi, I'm Words here, and I'm making a game. I'm back to 25 frames a second. For some reason, it didn't like it before, but it does now, and I can see my mouse flickering. Alright. I had gotten thus farly. As far as load. There we go. This. Now it should actually look a little better this time because slightly higher frame rate. You should be able to tell because before I actually looked at the video, it looked like I was able to jump when I wasn't on the ground because it didn't record the frame where I was on the ground, but it might now, possibly. Ooh, look at that. Boop. Anyway, yeah. So we had to make it so this wall doesn't do that. That's bad. That's bad too, but that's a different story. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. What we have to do is we have to make it so it does a check when it moves you to the left or right. Well, for now, because of the position of the wall, we'll start with left, since we won't actually be able to test right just yet. Not unless I do something like switch those around, which would be to just take forever. We're not going to do that. So let's see. What we have to do is you basically make it so that if you move to the left, it has to do a check to see if you're past the wall, if you're past that node. The problem is how nodes work, and let me explain with a paint, with the paint and the paintings, the paint, paintedy paint, filling, dead air, paint. There we go. Okay, here we have a wall. Okay, a share wall. It's awful, but it's a wall. And this node says I'm wall. This node says I'm a floor. And here's our character trying to move this way. And what we want to do is we're going to say, no, you can't move that way. No. And the problem is that that it's a wall is that information is stored over here, and your character knows about this node. I could check the node before the node that you're on, but there won't necessarily be a node before the node you're on. If this is the last node, I could actually make a wall node that's like off to the left always, and I could maybe do that so that, also to the right, make it so there's this off the edge of the level, there's this wall automatically. But basically the way it's got to work is if you move to the left, you hit a wall if there's a wall. Pretty simple, it seems, but it's more complicated than it looks. First off, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that actually. I'm going to add a wall on the floor. Well, it doesn't matter as long as, well, no, it has to, yeah. Once I add this in, it's going to start making an error every time I try to go left at the start. That's just frustrating. That's annoying. That'd be annoying. So we're gonna move all the nodes forward. We're gonna make so that there's 5 nodes now. So this node is actually gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Node 0 is going to be at -1. It doesn't really matter what the Y position is, as long as it's high. Oh my. We'll just say 0. Yeah, that makes sense. And level node type for 0 is 1, so it's a wall. Okay, so now we've done all that. Here's what we have to do. I'm going to say so that every time it tries to subtract from your x, we're going to have to say no and change it back if it ends up hitting a wall. And yeah, that's pretty simple, really, I guess. What we should do then is say if x minus sprite divided by 2, so that it actually factors in the bigness of your sprite, is now here's the thing. I don't want it to necessarily stop exactly at the wall. Like, I might actually, and I might just do this by having different kinds of, walls, basically. Different, there's the steep incline where I just indicate this is going to be a steep incline, and therefore I need you to, you don't, necessarily stop, you just, you don't necessarily stop. Maybe the character can go slightly up it, but like gravity affects it. Whereas if it was a floor, it doesn't matter whether it's how big the incline is, you just snap to it. But and then if it's a wall, you just stop at that node no matter what. Not sure how I'll do that just yet. For now, I guess I could just do that. Basically, stop at the node. But really, what I'd like to be is you stop at the wall itself, and that's a lot more complicated. I had to actually figure out the height, like what the actual X position is of that position as opposed to this position. Very similar to figuring out the height at this particular position. But for now, I guess I'll just say, first off, we have to make sure that actually what we're looking at is a wall. How can we do this? Ah, right. Wait, to keep them on the node first. So if game dot level node type level node for the character minus 1. So if the previous node is a wall, then if, well, we can do it and, why not? And x minus sprite width over 2. I spelled that wrong. Is less than game dot level node x node. So if you're moving to the left and you're trying to move past a wall, it will stop you now by doing this. X equals node x level node plus sprite width over 2. Like that. That should work, probably. Maybe. Let's find out. Oh no. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, it works so far. Yeah, that works. Except for that part where it frickin' doesn't. Did you see that? What was that all about? That was a fun little logic error, jeez. What was that? Do it again. Let's try that again. Ah, why? Why? Well, let's check some code. Alright. So we know that when it steps, it does the vert speed and does the ground check. Vert speed equals 0. Okay, so it should be doing the ground check as you fall at the very start. Trying to figure this out. What did I change? Why does it not work? Maybe let me make sure I put in the nodes right. I did, as far as I can tell. I moved all the nodes forward that were supposed to move forward. Yep, that's all correct. But for some reason, I know what I did wrong. Oh, thank you, brain, for working independently of my stupid. There, done. The character was attached to the wrong node. He thought he was on that wall on the left. But you can't do that. That doesn't work. Gah! I've been wondering. Interesting. That's what happens, by the way. You fall right into a wall. I need to make it so that walls work different. Here's what I want to do. Right now that's more like an incline. I need to change how it works. What I want it to do, I'm gonna illustrate with the actual level. Okay, what I want it to do, what it does right now is, if you fall right here in between the two nodes, you just kind of fall through and hit at a weird place because it doesn't really do the math right. And that's not right, obviously. I don't want to do that for certain. But I also don't want it to do anything weird like shove you over this way. What I'm thinking is, as you pass here, if you hit the wall, I need to make it so that it actually lets you actually kind of hit that wall. I need to make it so that you slide past it, kind of. And that's actually a little bit more complicated than the simple, you know, like moving it around on the floor. Just a bit. It's a bit more complicated, because what I need is to actually make it test both your X and your Y to see if it's hitting that wall, and kind of figure out like where, you know, along like your mask you're going to actually be touching the wall, and kind of slide you along it. That way I can have, you know, slightly less steep inclines, but like say, you know, that's still a wall, you know, if it's like that maybe. And as you walk along, if you land on it, you'll actually slide down it. The biggest problem though, is that what I really need is for it to be able to actually do real, like, walls, not just, you know, not just the inclines. And for that, I would need them to be able to have equal position. In which case, I should be able to do this, and I'm going to show you what happens when this. I don't actually know what's going to happen. This is a little adventure. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, these two nodes are now at the same position. What'll happen? It'll fail. That's what, division by 0. Oh no. See, okay, first off, what happened was the node positions are equal, so it tried to do this division and it failed. What it needs to do is actually, I'm going to actually, from now on, we're going to say 0 equals a floor, thusly. Something that's, you know, maybe inclined, but it's not that steep. So this is a 0. This is actually a 2. I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be completely different maths involved, but this, actually, let me illustrate a little better by doing this. This guy right here, that's a 1. This is a 2, this is a 0, this is a 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tell it to do the checks differently too. When it, that's okay, I'm going to make it again. When it actually tries to do all that stuff, when it does the node checks, when it does the, you know, whether or not you're on the ground, that sort of thing, it's going to have to actually completely change this. It's going to have to say, okay, first off, I think the place I'm going to start is if it does the node check, we're going to say if game dot level node type level node. So if the node you move to is a wall, then it'll increment you again. And in theory, there's no real reason that I would have two walls and meet like one after like two walls on top of each other. Like that's just a one tall wall. So that shouldn't be a problem. I can just it shouldn't then land you on a wall after that. Basically, I shouldn't have to keep doing checks to make sure you don't end up on a wall. Like because I could make it so that I do like a do while where it says do, you know, level node plus equals 1, or do until you know, the node drawn isn't, you know, a wall, but I'm not going to do that. This should make it so it skips the wall for all tests. I don't know if it might still get the division by 0 error because it might still do a check on that wall for whatever reason, but yeah. So here's what happens right now. It skips you to the next node, And because of that, it snaps you to it because it knows, because the node is, you know, it's a, well, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to change it, so change how this works again. Because as you're moving right, it snaps you to it. Like snap. And I need to change it so it doesn't work. And how can I do that? Okay, this is where this is actually got this returns true if you move through a node. What I could do is I could change it so that it actually returns true if you so that it returns true if I'll make it so return true. Move that up there. Now it'll return true if the node is if you actually moved past a wall. This might work. I don't want to get too optimistic about this, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this F, give it to me. There we go. I'm going to take this out again, and I'm going to say, there. If not that, like it was before. Now, if you move past a wall, it shouldn't actually do this. Otherwise it will, theoretically. Again, everything's theoretical until I try it, at which point it always fails. Or it doesn't, or it just works perfectly because, goddamn. There, yeah, that worked. Yeah, that's perfect. Crash! Okay. Actually, I could put that last node that I want to put on there now. Node. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're watching me do this. I don't know why. Okay, there. Now there's going to be a wall on the right. But it doesn't actually work yet. Just had to make it so it does the same thing as left. Except in the other direction, obviously. Doop-de-doo. Doop-de-doo! Plus, we'll change all these pluses, and this to a minus, I think. I'm going to score a minus. That should work. Let's see if it works. Ah, doesn't work. Don't know why. I don't see why that would work. Oh, there's y. Greater than or equal to. There. That should fix it. Now you should be able to hit that wall on the right that I just made. Or, oh, I forgot about that. This is actually a problem I'd already thought of, but I'd completely forgotten about it by now. I actually had to make sure that it knows that a wall, it shouldn't actually hit a wall that's lower. So I have to actually put this in. Let me just move this over here. Alright, what I actually need to test is I have to make sure that that next node is higher up than the node you're on. So like level node y is greater than game.level that's not gonna work, is it? Necessarily. Oh. No, it does work, yeah. There. Do the same thing for right, because that's where it's actually having the problem. Level node plus 1 is greater than node y plus 1. Ta-da! I think. I hope. In theory, I should be able to move right and fall off of the wall, but I can't. Wonder why. Let's check again. Right, okay. Oh, I know. I just had to flip this because I forgot. Ugh. See, this is. You thought I was reminding you that the origin is in the top left, 0, 0 over here. I was reminding myself over and over because I always forget that. So what I ended up with was I actually had it backwards from what it ought to be. So that the wall now, if the wall is I'm moving right and this wall goes down, I should be able to fall off it. But if I'm moving left, or if I'm moving right either way and it goes up to the next area, I should, yep, okay. And yes, ha! And yes, ha! Fixed. Let's make it so you can actually reach that. Let's make it high enough. I'll increase the height that you can jump. Let's make it nice and big. 26, and we'll lower that node. I want to get to where I can jump up onto that ledge. So I'm gonna cheat by lowering it. 385 maybe? I don't know. Let's check that. I'm gonna end up doing that same thing I did before, where I kept trying to move those nodes around and ended up in weird places, and I had to pause and fix it. Oh shit, I can jump really high. Okay, so here's the problem. What I'm checking right now is whether or not the node, this node, is higher than this. I need to actually check whether the character is higher than that. That was dumb. Keep clicking the wrong thing. Let's see. If the node's position is less than, instead of that, let's say it's less than y plus sprite height, height over 2. There. And I could do the same thing on the other one, which I will. No. Yes. I think. Come on. Go. This should work. Yes. Yes! It works. I still get the division by 0 when I'm over this, though, but yes. But also no. But also yes! But also no. Let's see. I actually had to do, I might not have, oh, I know what I did. Look, the node check right is different than node check left, because in right I had this bit of code that fixed all that up. There. Ta-da! Fixed. Done. That'll work. And this is going to be a great place to end the video. Not quite 30 minutes, but yeah, that's about right, I think. Douche. Douche. I can jump ridiculously high. Gravity is not high enough for that. Oh, look at this. This is fun. Well, that's a problem for another day. But I'm okay with it as is. This is a great place to stop, although, you know, that is kind of an annoying problem, but, you know, these things happen. I'll figure something out eventually. I think that's pretty neat, actually. If you ask me, that's pretty cool that you can do that. It's better than it was. So, yeah. I don't know, I can't really think of anything else to do with this video. So next time, I'm going to probably add in other things. I might add in platforms, I don't know. That's if I'm even doing the same game. Woohoo! You don't know. So, if you like walls, subscribe. You should also like if you like walls that you can jump over. Ledges, in fact. So, yeah. I actually know I can do it like Mega Man. Make it let you like kind of inch your way out to the edge or something. Make it so that. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna be leaving. I'm gonna stop this video, and I'm going to do other things, possibly. Who knows? You should find out next time. Bye.